I gave a recommendation to my client that would result in 10 million fewer dollars. Why on earth would I do that? Well, I wanted them to live the best possible life. And sometimes my job is to say to a client, look, I don't want you to retire too early and run the risk of running out. So please work 18 more months so you can actually spend what you want the rest of your life. And I'll be the next person to say, why the heck are you working? You told me you didn't want to die with $10 million. So what are we doing here? I'll be both of those people. And I'm going to show you a case study of how I approach this with a client who had a significant health condition who wanted to retire early. There's so much when it comes to retirement planning, it gets overwhelming quickly. What about health insurance? What about taxes? What about withdrawal strategy? What about insurance? I'm going to give you an insight as to how I would approach this wide conversation, but narrow it down into a few topics. There's a phrase I made up. If you look it up anywhere, it doesn't exist. It's called vacuum planning, because too often people come to me and go, Ari, I did this amazing conversion. They say it with a little bit of attitude. I'm like, I wish you did nothing. They're like, why? I go, well, you did this thing that made sense tax-wise, but it just threw off your portfolio and how much income it can withdraw. So yeah, you did a cool tax move, but now your health insurance subsidy that you're getting $700 a month in premium tax credits for, yeah, that's going away now. Other clients come and go, all right, I did the best investment move. And I said, that's awesome. It made a lot of money for you. But when you now have to convert that money, you're going to be paying a lot more in taxes because your pre-tax balance is too high. So I wish you did the good move. I just wish you did it in a different account. And they're like, oh, so a lot of nuance when it comes to planning. I'm going to show you a very simple situation so you can understand what I mean by quality planning. Now, if you don't already know, my name is Ari Taublieb. I'm a certified financial planner. I'm the host of the Early Retirement Podcast, and I'm the vice president here at Root Financial Partners. If you're looking for more guidance on withdrawal, investment, tax, estate, healthcare, you're in the right spot. I invite you to subscribe for more information like this. Now today, I'm going to be playing around with a very specific tool. If you want access to the same tool I'm going to be showing you today, it is in the description of this episode. It's inside what's called the Early Retirement Academy. There's no one-on-one guidance where you get to hear from me and I'm talking to you directly, but you get access to the software and everything I use for my clients. This is what I recommend if you don't have $2 million, but you still are seeking financial guidance at this current time. Now, I don't just say 2 million to be mean. I don't just make this up. That's when I feel generally I can add value in excess of my fee, and I don't want someone paying us unnecessarily. Now, the reason for this video, it's prompted by a listener question, and you can see the question right here. I'm going to read it out. Ari, love the Academy. It's fantastic. Live events are great. Please keep doing them. I like when you use real life scenarios, and for us Academy users, between 1 and 2 million would be the sweet spot. Anyway, thanks for all your hard work. By the way, we are planning on retiring at the end of the year. My wife's job has become really stressful. 12-hour days plus weekends. We moved to Florida to be near my parents. I retired from my job at the end of 2022 and currently work part-time. Her job is remote, so she works out of our house, but her level of stress is through the roof. Your Academy has made our retirement possible. The psychological part is our next hurdle. Becoming successful spenders might be a problem. So what is the point of this? This is not, I'm not sharing with you the specific couple because they didn't want to for security purposes to be used for this, but I'm showing you a very similar couple, just a little different. So this couple is 60 years old with $2 million. Now, they were like, Ari, I don't know exactly when I want to retire, probably 65. I said, you could work till 65, no problem with that. Right now, based on your plan, considering there are no children, you're on track for about $16 million at age 93. They're like, look, I don't need 16 million. I go, I don't think you do either. So what I want you to do is ask yourself, would you rather retire earlier or spend more? And they're like, we'd rather do both. I go, well, that's a good answer. I'm not saying that's possible, but good to know. But they told me, look, we would rather honestly work a little longer if that means we can spend what we want to and not run the risk of running out. I said, totally get that. So we ran through some significant projections with them. And what I recommended is that they have 10 million fewer dollars. And the reason for this is they're similar to the couple I just shared, where in this example, it's flip-flopped. The wife is currently retired and the husband is working 12-hour days, stressed out of his mind. And he could never get himself, I'm not saying this is any of you guys, but he could never get himself to pay for a massage or go to the physical therapy that's out of network because that just didn't make sense to him. He's like, why would I do that when I could go in network? That feels weird. I feel like I'm throwing money away. I don't need a massage. I'm fine right now. And this is where I'll have a very transparent conversation with clients and say, look, this is not a question of need. And if you have not heard my partner James's candy bar example, it's excellent, and I'm going to share it with you, where he says, it would be weird if you were in a hotel and you bought a candy bar for $10. That would be odd. You don't probably have it in you to do that when you know you could go across the street and get that candy bar for $2. But good luck quantifying the time that you spent away from your spouse. Now, someone once said, Ari, I need 30 minutes away from my spouse, so it's nice going across the street. Okay, I get that. But other people are like, look, I'd rather spend as much time as possible with my partner. And if that means I'm buying the $10 candy bar because my plan says I can do it, and that means I get 30 more minutes laughing with her watching a movie, that's what I want. So I get it. Here's my point. This particular person, we had a big conversation, and I said, okay, I know you don't want to get massages. I know you don't want to go to out-of-network PT, but you told me you wanted to hike in retirement, and your health isn't the best. I don't see how hiking is going to happen. I don't really see this as a realistic goal in retirement that is going to happen unless we get real transparent right now. So I said, look, I know you're not going to do it, but just tell me, if you were to get massages, how much would it be a week? They're like, probably $100 a week if I get 2. I go, okay. How often would you want to get that? They go, well, probably twice a week, to be honest. I go, great. What about physical therapy? What about paying for other out-of-network services? What about going to a different physician for a specialized need? They're like, I know, but I'm just so busy right now. I go, I know you're busy now, but I need you to start taking some days off and prioritizing you before retirement, or this retirement is going to happen and you're going to be really mad at me because you're going to be 75 and you're going to have $12 million. You're going to go, Ari, why didn't you push me to spend more money when I was in a fine spot to do so? Here I am with tons of money without the ability to actually enjoy it. So we talked about it, and the most that they would be willing to spend is $12,000 a year. You can see it right here. We can say he's going to do it every year from now for 20 years. He could do it for 25 years. He could do it for 30 years. But he said 20 years, so I'll say let's do 25 years. What would the impact be on the plan? And so I'm showing he has way less money at the end, and just to be transparent with this person, I turned off certain spending measures that what they wanted to do and said, let me just show you the impact, quite simply, of you truly, just for a second, doing massages, physical therapy, taking care of yourself. Look at what it would show. It would show you don't have 15 million, you don't have 17 million, you have $15 million. So yes, there's a big trade-off here. And too many people go, well, what about the opportunity cost of those dollars? If instead I invested that, let the compound interest work, it's actually more valuable because I have more money in my portfolio. I go, whoa. You're letting your financial plan whale your life dog. I know it's silly, but don't let that be you. Don't let you be the person with an awesome financial plan in a poor retirement. Because someone once came to me and said, Ari, I want you to build me a plan. And I said, I'm sorry, that's not what I do. You're in the wrong spot. They go, isn't that like exactly what you do? What the heck's going on? I said, no, if you don't have the best plan, go work 40 more years and it'll be better than any strategy I recommend. Now, you won't be able to travel. You won't spend time with family or friends, so I don't think that's what you're looking for. But life is not about having the best plan. It's about having a sustainable amount of money that will not allow you to run out. But I have other clients that want to die with $0. They go, massages, all of this stuff. Ari, I want to spend $100,000 a year on vacations. Like, that's what I'm looking for. I'm like, awesome. I want you to do that too. But I don't want you to spend on vacations and weddings and buying new cars. And now all of a sudden your monthly spending is through the roof because you'd run out of money. So I don't want you to run out of money at 76. I am very clear. I wanted this particular person to spend what they wanted to spend, enjoy their retirement. And you can see here, if this person is, and I'm just giving you a hypothetical, you can run your own numbers here when you are personally using the academy. But I want them to be able to have the capacity to go, wow, I'm making an informed decision based on what I want, not just what the plan says is best. So here they are, possibly passing away at 93 with $3.8 million. They spent $100,000 a year on vacations. They worked till 65. They got health taken care of. They prioritized that. But what if they didn't want to work till 65 and they said, maybe we work till 64 instead? How does that impact the plan? Well, there's fewer dollars. It's not 3.8, but it's 3.3 million left over. I just gave them a year back of them working 12-hour days. So why do I care about this? Why do I get emotional about this? If you're intentional with the way you view retirement planning and play around with all of these projections, it can make a very different retirement. Now, one of these assumptions can throw off a whole plan. I was assuming they get moderate growth. What if they don't? What if they have a conservative portfolio? Well, now all of a sudden they're going to be okay, but they're cutting it close. And so now, is 2 million really cutting it close? No, but I want to make sure no one runs the risk of running out of money. So if this is a tool you want to go play around with, that's why we have it. It's inside the academy. If you're like, hey, this is great, but I need your guys' expertise and planning on taxes and healthcare and withdrawal, and I want to make sure I'm intentional with how all of the Medicare and the capital gains and the Roth conversions and all of that stuff, well, that is why we do this. I don't just do this for the sake of it. I love what I get to do, and I don't want anyone to run the risk of running out of money. I want you to be optimizing. So if you're like, look, I'm going to spend $20,000 a year on vacations and buy new cars and take care of my health and retire at 64, I go, that's awesome, but look at the tax impact that's going to come at you. And this particular couple, their plan looks good, but then all of a sudden, they have to spend way more on required distributions, which is them paying unnecessary taxes. And you can see here, if we're filling up certain brackets, all of a sudden, sometimes it does not make any sense to do conversions. It's like, this is not beneficial. Sometimes it can add a lot more value. It can be worth $1 million. So it depends on so many different factors. This is the surgery piece. Roth conversions and withdrawal strategy, that's when an advisor can add a lot of value. If you're just wanting an advisor to rebalance or tell you, hey, invest a little differently, I'm not so sure you should hire an advisor, and you might want to start with something like the Academy. So hopefully this is helpful for you guys. If you're looking for this type of guidance, you can see all of the links in the description below, and I'll see you guys next time.